Yeah. Got a new show for y'all.
Got a damn good show.
We actually did a video on this.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, but the way the police department handled this.
Yeah. He didn't get fired? I mean, he should have went to prison for that. He should have got like at least 15 years. At least 15 years for that.
Okay.
That's an elderly man, Asian dude.
Yeah, he's
right?
70. He has cancer as well.
Uh-huh.
And this guy's attorney right here released some new footage, and he released more information on how the police department handled the situation. And it's kind of crazy.
Now to a News 4 exclusive. More big developments surrounding a very controversial Oklahoma City police encounter.
We were the first news outlet to tell you the officer involved has resigned. It comes months after then Sergeant Joseph Gibson took an elderly man to the ground during a traffic stop last October. Police say 71-year-old Lick Vu touched and shouted at Gibson.
This footage is part of a nearly 6-minute video.
That is crazy.
That is nuts.
70-year-old man. He resigned.
Yeah, this is his wife. Watch how he treats his wife.
Released by Oklahoma City Police in November. But now, the attorney representing Lou's family is giving us never-before-seen footage from the same call.
News 4's John Hayes takes us through it.
Your vehicle was not like that.
Sit down.
No.
You sit down. Get on the ground.
But he did get mouthy with the cop.
Yeah, never step on the cop's ego.
Yeah.
You going to jail.
Yeah. I don't care how sick and how old you are.
Yeah. You step on the cop's ego. I don't know, but it's like when you
He raised his voice to the cop, but he didn't deserve that.
I think he was telling him to shut up too.
Yeah, he told him to shut up. And the way he said his accent, that must have triggered that cop.
Yeah, and it was a traffic stop. So I'm starting to think this Asian guy got stopped for no reason. That's what I'm thinking. If this is the conduct, if this is how the cop portrays himself in public with a body cam on.
Right.
Okay,
but you know what they say about Asian drivers.
I can't drive.
It's video from a traffic stop we've been showing you for months now. An argument between now former Oklahoma City Police Sergeant Joseph Gibson and 71-year-old Liv Vu over a traffic ticket escalating.
I had roll fire and him sat here and a supervisor. I got into use of force.
But you haven't seen this. Several minutes of new video shows everything Gibson said and did after Vu ended up on the ground. You can see Vu's wife clearly distraught.
He kept out bleeding. He died.
No, he's not.
No.
Go sit over there.
A few minutes later, things escalate between them.
Go over there.
I need a picture with this.
Go over there.
Yes, sir.
You're about to get sprayed. Go over there now.
He's good.
You about to get sprayed. That cop is
He does not have the temperament or mentality to be a cop.
Has absolutely no decorum that's suitable to be a police officer. Hey,
he's gonna pepper spray her if she doesn't get back. I understand pepper spraying somebody when they're being aggressive.
Right.
She's just taking a picture. Get back my pepper spray. I'm taking a picture.
Yeah, she's absolutely no threat to him. That dude's no threat to him. I hate to see cops do this.
Go over there. Sit.
Gibson eventually unlocks Vu's handcuffs before another officer shows
Laying
up.
on his chest.
He still has a pulse, but he hit his head.
Vu's attorney tells us he suffered a brain bleed that required surgery, broken bones, and was already in poor health battling cancer. The second officer is unsuccessful at waking him up at first. Gibson eventually makes a request.
You might check. You might check for a pulse. I'm getting adrenaline.
Vu eventually wakes up, but is unable to move much. His wife comes back to check in.
Go, step. Go over there.
That's my husband.
I understand it's your husband, but you need to wait right there.
Vu is on the ground for about 6 minutes before an ambulance shows up. Gibson explains to paramedics what he says happened.
I grabbed a hold of him, he fell, he hit his head.
The dude fell and hit his head. You said get on the ground, and you helped him on the ground.
Yeah. Why would he? It's crazy. You got body cam on
And you lied.
and you lying.
You like that girl that was played, was it the track and field? I didn't mean to hit her.
Yeah.
The whole world can see you reach back and clubbed her beside the head.
With that baton, yeah.
Whenever he fell pretty hard, there was a knot, lost unconsciousness, he's bleeding. This guy laying on the ground.
Gibson's supervisor shows up next, but we don't see the conversation.
Talking to Lieutenant Gary, turn the body camera off.
He turns the body camera off while he talks to his
He
boss.
told him to turn his body cam off. Why are you turning the body cam off?
Well, they got
Aren't you obligated to wear the body cam whenever you're stopping somebody and,
Yeah,
and you
I
so
know.
everybody can have transparency how you handled the situation,
Yeah.
how you process the person that you arrested? Why would you turn the body cam off?
Well, he's got to have
They use it to gather evidence against the person they arresting, but they don't want to use it to gather evidence to gather evidence against them.
Hey, man, power corrupts.
Attorney Devin Jacob plans to sue Gibson on the Vu family's behalf.
Mr. Gibson is not going to be the only defendant.
That's because Jacob says this is a complex case with many factors, starting with a criminal charge Oklahoma County District Attorney Vicky Behena filed against Gibson for aggravated assault and battery. Oklahoma Attorney General Gittner Drummond later dropped the charge, saying Gibson acted within the scope of his training.
That's crazy.
The attorney general dropped the charges.
What kind of attorney general is that?
Said he just following his training. I'm sure in training you got a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, fragile. He's fragile too. He's like, when you see him walking, his mannerism, he's like walking on eggshells.
So it's in that training. If somebody raises their voice, you slam them to the ground, even if they're 70 years old.
Yeah, That's
Come on,
nowhere
in training, yeah, I know they got de-escalation training.
Yeah.
Shouldn't he have just said, hey, please calm down?
Calm down.
Calm down.
Calm down, sir. Calm
Understand
down.
your frustration.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
You know?
Calm down. Calm down. He never did that. He's
Yeah, get on the ground.
There's a question now as to who actually is in charge of setting the training, which apparently Mr. Gibson was complying with when he assaulted and nearly killed my client.
There's also the internal review we were told last year was underway. It could have led to discipline for Gibson had he not resigned.
The information trickled over through the rumor mill, and that's how the family found out.
Police won't share any results or recommendations with us.
They're essentially telling their officers that, it's really bad what if you break the law, but if you get a pass for breaking the law, then we're going to give you a pass and let you slide out of here without any repercussion.
I requested interviews this week with Chief of Police Ron Basie, City Manager Craig Freeman, OKC FOP President Mark Nelson, and former Attorney General Mike Hunter, one of Gibson's attorneys. All of them declined. Nelson, though, sent us a statement Tuesday saying the FOP supports Gibson's decision to resign. Jacob says he's concerned about the lack of transparency.
We're going to find out exactly what happened. And I assure the public that the story is going to be made public, all of it, every detail.
He also has serious concerns about something Gibson could be heard saying.
I grabbed a hold of him, he fell, he hit his head.
Those same words also showed up on the report Gibson filled out.
A police report is an official record. And if you or I, make a false statement to the police, we would be charged with a crime for, making false reports. So again, we need to look at those reports and see if everything contained in those reports was truthful, and if they're not truthful, was it an intentional or an intent to mislead an investigation? Because that's also a question that needs to be answered here.
John Hayes, Oklahoma's News 4.
Yeah, he did fall down with some assistance.
Yeah, that's crazy. They allowed him to resign. They should have fired him and should have charged him with falsifying a police report and assault and battery. Because that level of force was not necessary. That dude's an old, fragile, petite man.
Yeah, I don't know why the attorney general dropped the charges.
I mean, I support the man in blue. They do a lot of great in our streets, but that's not it. I don't support that. That's crazy. Man, that could have happened to our mama, because mama got mouthy.
Oh, our mama?
Yeah, she had an attitude problem. She's a Christian, but she will cut you out in a heartbeat. That could have happened to my mama.
Could
'Cause
happen.
I think mama was bipolar. Looking back on it, mama would flip on you.
Yeah, but this could happen to
Mama will go
anybody.
zero.
Anybody could lose their cool.
Yeah,
You
I
just
know.
raise that voice and it gets slammed to the ground like that.
Yeah,
And then you're gonna pepper spray his wife.
yeah. Well,
I wish he had a pepper sprayer
yeah,
to add to the charges.
yeah. That's crazy. So
That was
allowed him-
crazy. No, I take that back. That was dumb. Shouldn't have said that.
Shouldn't have said what?
He should have pepper sprayed the wife to add to his charges.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was dumb. That's about as dumb what that police officer did. See, we all have our moments. I should be held accountable, and I apologize for what I said.
Yeah.
He needs to apologize publicly. He needs to see the inside of a jail cell.
Yeah, the crazy thing about it is we've arrested probably 500 to 1,000 people.
Well, we used to work in loss prevention.
Yeah, yeah.
We used to arrest shoplifters. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've never
Felonies, misdemeanors, right? When I ever approached an elderly person and they
stole
got unruly, that never entered my mind to slam them on the ground like that.
Yeah, they're
I
elderly.
mean, there's a level of emotional intelligence I think I have over this police officer. Why would you slam someone that elderly on the ground like that?
Yeah, and
there's something wrong with you. It's something mentally wrong with you if you treat elderly people like that. Hey, if you support what we do, go to officialharstwins.com. Get you one of these Christ is King t-shirts.
Yeah, and anything you buy on our site gets you automatically into the win. The truck giveaways we got going. Right now, we got a Ford Raptor.
$10,000 in cash.
Yeah.